mercy. Oh, let's just reload you just for GP. I don't like the way you look. Actually, we can cancel that whole thing. Let's go ahead and quit that. And let's reopen you. Ain't like how that look. Well, that reopens. Really get the people in YouTube in here. Okay, I see people starting to call through the calling line. That's starting to come through. Levels looking good. Alright. Let's start having YouTube pull up on us. Alright, where's my... Come on. Check for the website. So that's that. That's coming through pretty soon. Good. You know what? Let's give me some time. I just wanted to start the intro so I can get my weeds up anyway. Skip all this. That's why you was acting up. Come on, let's go. We got an audience to take care of. Booyakasha. I said Booyakasha. Not responded. Alright. That's the first issue you're running into. Okay. Let's see if you're ready now. There we go. That's better. That's not better. Why isn't that better? What's going on here? Okay. I see you here now. You're supposed to be my headphones. You're good. You're slow today. I see you. Okay, that's why you're responding slow. You're still trying to do shit that I'm not telling you to do. How about this? How about you just start? So that we can start and get all the people in here. Hey, thinking about that time. The levels is looking good. It's gonna be a tough one. I'm telling you, something isn't sitting right with me with my microphone here on one of my sites. Well, we'll be coming. The MyT Sports Podcast will be started in just moments. You know what? I may say fuck the website. Oh, I see what's going on here. I opened this bitch up like 3 times. My impatient ass. Okay. Let's try this again. That looks like it's running a little bit more smoothly. Alright, how is this looking now? What is going on here? These are the little things that gets aggy sometimes. Because these are the things that you're like, you know what? It's a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem. But you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna go ahead and start, and hopefully the problem goes away. The problem doesn't go away. It's still there, staring me right in the fucking face. But you know what? I think today we'll just end up using the audio on Podbean. We'll see how that goes today. And only probably alone. Sorry, website people. It doesn't look like you're gonna get involved in the show today. But where else is the website pushing to live outside of the website? That's a good question, right? Let's proceed to skip that today. As I'm still fucking with it, and I'm like, yo, you know what? Like, we're halfway here. Let's see. Let's try to make one last attempt to see if things are functioning right. Are you hearing me? Let's see. Nope.
Danger zone.
Okay, so you know what? We're gonna say screw that. Oh. Yeah, we're gonna say screw that. We're just gonna quit that. Website won't get no love today. It's just gonna be me, you, and the calling line, and YouTube, and everybody else. I guess that's good enough for today, ain't it? Fuck it, let's go. The levels is good. The levels is good. The levels is good. I think I'm missing something, but you know what? I think I'm gonna deal with it. What a boy.
Okay. Big man, you wanna hear some hot takes? Let's see how woke you are. You know something about podcasts? Hell, diga, man. Kidding me or what, man? I got these 3 drunk uncles with a sports podcast. They say they got fire takes, pure fuego. You find them wherever you listen to podcasts at. If it's what they say it is, you like them, you subscribe. Listen, like, you subscribe, yeah. You know how to call into the show? Yeah, man, do the Podbean. You'll need headphones with a mic to call in. That's no problem, man. They'll also be at Sharky's, 8:07 p.m. on the first Wednesdays of the month. You may get some free Blue Chew. And they keep receipts, so if anything happens in the sports world, might just gonna drop and take fast and the rabbit gets full. There's only 3 things I have in this world. My word, my dogs, and this podcast. And I don't listen for nobody. MyT Sports Season 7.
Is that my cue? Is that my cue? Let's go. Good evening, and welcome back to another edition of the MyT Sports Podcast. I am your host, the one and only Untitled Chapter. It is another fuego day in the hottest city in the world. We're coming to you live and direct from the troubled town of Tamarack, Florida, the tumultuous city. You know. Nah, bro, we're coming to you live and direct from Tamarack, Florida, folks. It is May 23rd. We had highs of 90 today, lows of 78. We had a 100% chance of rain, depending on where you at, 50% chance of rain. You know what I mean? Like, it was a 100% chance of rain where I was at. Like, it definitely rained. I know you guys see, it's been a while representing my Connecticut School of Broadcasting shirt today, folks. We got a big show for you today. We got a big show for you today. As you guys may know, you guys can see it down with. This is Volume 7, Episode 103, Track 436. God damn, that's a lot of fucking episodes of the MyT Sports Podcast. Boy, do we got a lot to talk about today, folks. We have it all. Like, we really do have it all for you guys today. Like, you understand what's coming for you guys today? Like, we're going to talk about the 2014-2015 Steph Curry. For some reason, that particular 2015-2016 Steph Curry. For some reason, that particular Steph Curry came into play. We're going to talk about the Heat fans, how they feel disrespected. Don't quite know why. While Luka's actually being disrespected, we got a sweep being detected. We got some blue chew for you erected. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about the tea of the weekend for keep you connected. We're going to talk about BG and her 95 days of restriction. Right? We're going to talk about these playoffs, of course. We're going to talk about CP3 putting up her triple-double. We're going to give you a Dwayne Haskins update. We're going to talk about the wackos and their trouble. We got a big talk about injuries today because as we've alluded to throughout these whole entire playoffs, injuries are definitely shaping up the playoffs, folks. We have all that and more right here today on the MyT Sports Podcast this lovely Monday, May 23rd. But you guys already know what we say here, regardless of the time.
Take that.
And regardless of the weather.
You play to win the game. Hello?
It's always a good time to talk some sports. So, let's start talking. Woo! Back at it like a sports fanatic. MyT Sports. Oh man, folks, do we got a big show for you guys today? I hope you are ready for everything. I hope you are ready for everything that's coming your way today. We got a whole lot to get into, folks. Like I said, folks, we got Blue Chew, we got the tea of the weekend, we have it all. I don't even know if I even pulled up the Blue Chew promo code. It's been a busy day. It's been a busy day. You know what? Let me check out something here real quick too. Did I? Okay, I did, folks. All right, so let's get into it all. Let's get into one and it all, right? Let's go ahead and start off the podcast because we started off the podcast a little bit late, right? We started off the podcast through halftime with the Miami Heat game. Don't be mad at me. I wanted to catch the first half in all of its glory and all of its vibe. I really wanted to hear how things were going to play out because this is a very interesting series. But if you guys can't keep looking for what the fuck I'm looking for. But if you guys are new here, there's a way that we like to start off every single podcast. And we like to start off every single podcast with a little birthday celebration. And what that is that we go ahead and we give a shout out to every single person that had a birthday since the last time that we were on the air. So that's basically to cover everybody from the 21st, the 22nd, and the 23rd. So like my boy Chill Will likes to say, Ayo DJ MyT, go ahead and drop that beat. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this, right? But we're just gonna sing a little happy birthday song to everybody. So if you know anybody that had a birthday on the 21st, 22nd, or 23rd, you go ahead and you go and you tag them in this, and you go ahead and you drop their name, and we will go ahead and give them a birthday shout out as well. You guys ready for this? Right? Yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. Check it, yeah. Check it, yeah. Because it's your birthday, we sing happy birthday. It's your birthday, it's your birthday, it's your birthday, it's your birthday, yeah. That's how we do it here, folks. That's the birthday song. So that's your first time hearing it. I hope you was able to capture it. We're gonna sing it one more time for you guys. We always got to give you guys a little test run. Are you guys ready? You guys ready in the back? You guys ready in the front? You guys ready to the side? What about the other side? Alright. So let's get this going. Right? Because, yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. Check it. Yeah. Check it. Yeah. Because it's your birthday, we sing happy birthday. It's your birthday, it's your birthday, it's your birthday, it's your birthday. Alright folks, the first birthday we would like to give out to is to one AJ Kazana. Want to say happy birthday to AJ Kazana. After that, we would like to also get to give a happy birthday to Krisha Cross. If I'm not mistaken, Not only is Krisha Cross, if I'm not mistaken, still one of the top earners of Primerica over here, helping families meet their financial needs from coast to coast. But also, if I'm not mistaken, she was also part of the podcast that we shouted out not too long ago. What the fuck was that podcast? The Shut Your Mouth and Know Your Role, or the hold on one second. It was recent too. It was crazy recent. Where was it? They're not the Vanessa Cookbook. They were before the Vanessa Cookbook. The Can of Worms show. I think that's her. I think that's her and one of her partner and one of her brethren them. So shout out to Krisha again. We'll give them a little birthday. Give her a birthday shout out. Also on Saturday, want to say happy birthday to Jaheim Wonder Hits. Right, Jaheim Wonder happens to be one of the brethren that we've been partying with down here in South Florida. They're no longer down here in the general vicinity anymore, if I'm not mistaken. Like they have officially bounced from the area, but they do come down every once in a while to show some love, and that's always appreciated. Yeah, because you know what ends up happening, right? They come down to the same old watering hole that we used to go party at. You randomly run into them. It's like, oh shit, you're here. It's like, yeah, I'm here. A couple shots go around, a couple of things go here and there. Next thing you know, you're like, man, you catch up on good times for everybody. Right, and also for that's all the birthdays for May 21st. Yeah. For birthday for May 22nd, I want to say happy birthday to Danny Doyle. Actually, Danny Doyle is actually ironic that I'm wearing this shirt today, because Danny Doyle was actually the instructor for the Connecticut School of Broadcasting, folks. Connecticut School of Broadcasting is where I decided to go ahead and fine tune my broadcasting, my podcasting, my announcing, my radio skills, my editing skills, all of that shit. So make sure you go check out Connecticut School of Broadcasting. They can help you get your broadcasting career off to date. And also one of them is Stu Gotts. Yes, folks, he was on ESPN on the Dan Levitard show. So you may recognize him from that as well. If you're trying to be like, yo, who are the people that I can recognize from Connecticut School of Broadcasting? Well, that's them. That's them. That's them all day long. And you know what? Not for nothing. I am thinking that we're going to have to start reserving space at Connecticut School of Broadcasting. Possibly twice a month. To do interviews in that particular studio for the people that feel some type of way about doing interviews at the bar. We have to start working that out. Maybe once a month we go to Connecticut School of Broadcasting. We'll see. That first week of the month may start being crazy. Right? So, oh wait, no, bring that beat back. I wasn't done here. Stop playing with me. Right? So that's the birthdays for the 22nd, and then we have the birthdays today, right? I don't like what's going on back here. I keep rubbing up against this. It makes me feel uneasy. Right, then we have the birthdays for today, and the birthdays for today that happens to go out to one of my homegirls. She represents the light skinned nation. Want to say happy birthday to Raven. Oh my God, shut the fuck up. Blah, 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 blah. She knows what she put on her Facebook name. As we see D-Man over here beef with somebody from Boston, folks, and now they get it. Is that a double tech? We got about like 10 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, folks. And the Miami Heat again, the brakes beat off of them. Yeah, the Miami Heat gonna beat the brakes beat off of them, 84 to 57. It's a 27-point game, folks. Jaylen Brown 12 points, 7 rebounds, some other shit, folks. And it's crazy because this has been the series that we thought was probably going to go back and forth. But let's continue the birthday celebrations. We'll talk about that a little bit later, folks. So I want to say happy birthday today to Raven. Oh my God, shut the fuck up. And also want to say happy birthday to my little cousin, Michelle Edie. I haven't heard from you in forever. I still hope you're doing okay and you continue to receive all the blessings and everything that you deserve in life due to your hard work, dedication, and positive outreach to others. So I hope everything is continuing to go groovy for you. right? And I hope that everybody on your side is fully aligned and is of sound mind, body, and soul. You know what I mean, in these trying times. Right, so let's go ahead and get them all out, right? Let's go and get them all out, right? So to AJ and to Krisha and to Jaheed and to Danny and to Raven and to Michelle, we want to wish you all a happy birthday. We hope you party hard. We hope you enjoy everything. We hope you regret nothing. But more importantly, you get your weekend at Bernie's on, because you just had the whole entire weekend to celebrate your birthday. Yes, I hope you continue to stay MyT. Check it, yeah. Check it, yeah. What's going on, Rod? We see one of our regulars popping up. What's going on, Ronnie? I see you. Hey, yo, DJ MyT, go ahead and do me a favor. Go ahead and cut that beat. But like I said, we had a big weekend, right? And it's been an interesting weekend because it's big in a sense that there's a lot of dynamics going on, right? Like there's not a lot of sports going on, but what is happening in sports right now is holding a whole lot of weight. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? It's holding a whole lot of everything that's happening is holding a whole lot of weight, and every single weekend it looks like something new, or something old, or something borrowed, or something blue pops up and reminds us of why we love or hate sports. So let's go ahead and bring and pour it up a little bit and spotlight a couple of these stories that popped up over the weekend in a segment that is quickly sweeping the nation and is what we call the MyT Tea of the Weekend. Hope you guys have pulled up your drink. If you haven't did that since the beginning of the show, but it's time to get into the tea of the weekend, folks. And for this tea of the weekend, folks, we got a special blend of flavoring going on today. I don't know if you like your tea with a little bit of mahogany in it, and you understand, a nice little deep wooden, like a wood flavored, like a good barrel tea. I know it sounds like I'm talking about whiskey, but I'm talking about tea over here, right? I don't know how you guys like your tea, but some people like their tea with a little bit of wood, a little bit of that smoking, even with some straws, maybe, you understand, a little straw flavor. And it kind of seems that's the kind of the tea that the Golden State Warriors are handing out so far, as the Golden State Warriors are on the verge of completing a sweep of the Dallas Mavericks. And if you didn't know, then you should be very well aware that the Yes, folks, the Warriors have definitely come out to play. But let's not act like every other champion in history, right? You find yourself with a little bit of luck that plays in. And what that luck usually tends to look like is the opposing team being riddled with injuries. And when we're talking about injuries, we're talking about everybody, because injuries are always playing a factor when we come to the when it comes to determining of who your NBA champion is. Not just NBA champion, NFL champion, Major League champion, all of them. Injuries matter. And when I say injuries, I mean injuries. We're talking about Kyle Lowry, Jason Tatum, Otis Porter, Luka Doncic, Tyler Hero, Marcus Smart, Iguodala, Hardaway, Tucker, Howe, CP2, Bullock, Max Williams, Wiseman. You understand? Everywhere. And while we have bodies falling left and right in the NBA, it sounds like somebody in Major League Baseball, I hate to say it happens to be from one of my favorite teams, but the Yankees happen to use a little bit of dark humor over the weekend, folks. While the Heat fans are out here feeling disrespected for some reason, they shouldn't feel disrespected after what Boston just did to them tonight, because you know what it looks like.
You still
And apparently, the NFL owners are finally, and I say finally, voting on potentially kicking out one of their fellow peers. And talk about finally, the Browns have re-signed one of their key players. We'll tell you which one in a minute.
Cleveland! This is for you!
While the Cardinals are out here and they just out here getting deals done.
You like that? You like that? I like that.
You gotta like that, right?
And speaking of liking that, we have Candace Parker out here being one of the few rare players in NBA history to drop multiple triple doubles. On top of being the second player in NBA history, WNBA history to even dunk a ball, she also becomes one of the few to put up a triple double. Big up to her. And also,
Candace Parker.
and apparently Triple G, I shouldn't say Triple G, apparently Canelo wasn't that high after all on having an immediate rematch with Bevelin. Even though they said they wanted a rematch, why? It's not your weight class. You don't have to reach up there. Go continue to dominate where you want to dominate. And also go after a couple of money fights. And it seems exactly what they're gonna do, folks. They're gonna start stacking up not 1 G's, not 2 G's, but folks, we're gonna get Triple G and Canelo going back at it again.
JMA.
I finished Fight Pit.
Speaking of, I gotta go visit him. It's long overdue. I ain't gonna lie. Before we get to the last time, actually no, let's get to the last time. We'll go right into it. There's 2 ways I can say this. I can say this in a way that relates to today's terms, and that is by saying that Andrew Wiggins gets an NFT on the way to the Dubs getting a dub. Or I can say that Andrew Wiggins posterized Luka Doncic, put his nuts in his face, and it came away with the win I glitched. The Warriors celebrate their 3rd win in the series.
Oh, baby! Oh, baby!
And folks, that is your tea of the weekend. Let's pick which tea we want to get into first. Let's get into the one that almost interrupted our tea for. I'm gonna tell you guys, we're gonna. I can't wait till next season. I'm gonna let you know now. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was really holding off on dropping the remix, the new opener to the Tea of the Weekend until season 8. But I've been working on it for so long, and I was working on it today again. And after that, I was just like, you know what? I just gotta drop it. Like, fuck it. Like, I just gotta drop it. I know we're talking about, you guys are probably gonna hear it for probably like the next only 6 weeks or so, right? Maybe even that. What are we talking about? We about to be in what? There's about 6 weeks left. We got what, 2 more weeks in May. Then we have all of June, and by July 4th weekend, right around the time of the draft, is the last show of the podcast. And then we got the summer break. Oh shit, I gotta get my summer body ready. I gotta start consuming a couple more beers. Make sure that keg is nice and firm. Pull up to my bumper, baby. I got one in the front and in the back. Pull up to my bumper, baby. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. So, like, I know she's a complete asshole, right? But still, I have no problem talking about shit like this. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. My ex-girlfriend used to call me thick. I used to hate that shit. She'd be like, yo, my nigga is thick as fuck. I'm like, yo, you know what? You wait till later tonight. You wait till later tonight. When you tell me to go easy, I'm not gonna go easy. Keep calling me thick if you want to. Oh man, let's get into the first tea of the weekend. Let's pour up the first tea of the day, right? It's a nice little tea to sip on Monday evening as we watch the Heat and the Boston Celtics battle in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals, right? And is my Xbox still on? It is. Shit. I may put on some Monopoly. Even though the Miami Heat are getting their ass beat, right? And it's been a double-digit blowout, 20-point blowout for the majority of this game, right? And it was a blowout at halftime, and Miami Heat were not connecting whatsoever, and it looked like it was going to be what we see here right now. I still was optimistic for the Miami Heat. I still had not given up hope that, you know what, Miami Heat could put shit together and get this game done. But. There's a big but. And it's really about the but that's missing. And the but that's missing is the butler. Jimmy Butler, that is. Right? Because isn't the butler the person that does all the hard work? Isn't the butler that serves up the whole entire family, keeps the house in order, cleans shit the fuck up? The person that's really doing the job, you know what I mean, but not really getting all of the credit for. This is why Miami Heat fans talk about they out here being disrespected. Let's talk about the Heat now, since the Heat are getting their ass on and this disrespect level that Miami Heat fans were having. Because I'm not gonna lie, Miami Heat fans were calling into New York radio complaining. Like, I don't know if they realize this. When you call into ESPN, you're basically, especially the shit that you watch on TV, right? You're basically calling to New York radio. That ESPN that you watch is tailored to the New York, Connecticut, Bristol area. It really does. And I'm listening to them cry about Miami Heat not being respected and this and yo, of course we would make them look like this. We've been, I know Boston has been hot, but we've been this team exactly all year, and Jimmy Butler has been this, and Bam Adebayo is this and this and this. And not for nothing, this has been one of those series this has been the series I thought was going to go back and forth. See, I thought people had everything wrong. But they had shit backwards. From the very beginning, I thought shit was backwards. You're not doing shit. What you not doing? Alright, I thought they had this backwards from the very beginning. Oh, I'm not calling. Well, you ain't calling no one. No. But listen, I was listening today, and they were calling. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I recognized a couple of names, but they weren't names of the people that I knew. But I'm telling you, there was definitely a Bobby that called. There was definitely there was a Jeremy that called. Like, there was a Diego that called. I was like, this is way too much of a coincidence that all these names are people that I know personally of diehard Heat fans. But they were really calling, complaining about the level of respect that the Heat weren't getting, and not for nothing. Even I have thought that the Miami Heat weren't getting enough recognition, right? But I didn't just think the same thing about them. This is coming towards the end of the season, the regular season. It wasn't just them I thought weren't being talked about enough. It was also the reigning defending champs, Milwaukee Bucks. I thought the Miami Heat and the Milwaukee Bucks were the two teams that were not getting enough respect. One, because the Miami Heat were the number one team in the East, and two, because the Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks were the reigning defending champion. And it's not like they had fallen to like the 6th seed, or all of a sudden they found themselves in the play-in game. They were the 3rd team in the East. Like that's not horrific. That's kind of where you expected them to be anyway, because you expected Brooklyn to be better than them initially. So, as this game goes on, right? Like I said, there was a lot of problems that was happening here, but not even this here. Next, before I go to the personal game, right? Let's continue to talk. I thought that a lot of the experts had their opinions of these two series backwards. After watching what Luka did to Phoenix to come back and win that series, everybody was questioning, how does the Golden State Warriors guard Luka? And then as if Golden State don't have a chance. Let me make sure you understand this, right? What I'm implying here. How do they guard Luka as if Golden State does not have a chance to beat Dallas because they can't stop Luka? Then the next question was, right? That's what they thought there. And then the other one was, after seeing what Boston had done, this is going to be a quick series with the Boston and Miami. So they thought Golden State and Dallas was going to be a drawn-out series, and Miami and Boston was going to be a quick series. And I thought it was going to be the complete opposite. I'm like, nah, Golden State's going to bust that ass. How do they guard Luka? The same way they guard Jokic. Except Luka is a little bit more mobile, but not mobile enough that you have to worry about him being a goddamn a wrecking ball coming out at 100 miles an hour like LeBron James. Nope. This is a very slow wrecking ball that you can have better half court sets for. And you saw a lot of that, right? You saw them go man to man. You saw them go zone. You saw them play boxing one. You saw them throw every defender at Jokic not Jokic, but Luka that we thought they would throw at him. Obviously we didn't think it was gonna be. We said, listen, it started with Draymond Green, but of course it wasn't gonna be all Draymond Green. What we've seen has been Draymond Green. It's been Andrew Wiggins. It's been Otis Porter. If Andre Iguodala wasn't out because of his neck, we would have seen Andre Iguodala on him. We've seen a little bit of Lee. We've seen a little bit of Conley, whatever the center's name is. We've seen them all take a little bit of time to guard him. And that's what I thought it was gonna happen there. And with this Boston-Miami, this was always a hard series to call, because this was one of those series kind of thought it may have went 7. I'm still curious of how the NBA Finals is going to actually play out. In the West, I feel like they are very quick to blow their whistles in the West. And in the East, they allow them to be a little bit more physical, and they swallow those whistles just a little bit. So I wonder which style is going to be able to prevail a little bit more in that finals. It's still a running question that I have swirling around my head as we continue to get closer and closer to the NBA Finals. So now as we get to as we now play the 3rd game for the Golden State Warriors series, and now what we're seeing is the 4th game for the Miami series. The Golden State Warriors are busting that ass, as so eloquently put by my boy Ronnie. Right? They are 100% busting that ass. And it's not even close. It's not even close what we are seeing. And one of the surprising pieces to most people, if you haven't been really paying attention to the Golden State Warriors all year, is Jordan Poole. Now, Jordan Poole is an individual that we told you guys to watch for at the beginning of the season. Go back to the early tapes. Right? Early in the season, we told you guys to watch for Jordan Poole for no other reason that Stephen Curry gave him a ringing endorsement. He's like, okay, let's watch him. Let's keep an eye on this Poole guy. And we've seen him all year, slowly coming to his own, start balling, and then when Steph went down, it was basically Poole unleashed. And we were like, oh, well, if this is what you're gonna get from Poole, when you get Stephen Curry back, like, they may be a problem. They've been a problem all year. We just haven't been paying attention. They didn't just magically stumble upon the third seed in the West. But like some other teams, or like they may have learned already, winning 73 games really doesn't matter anymore. Even though I would like to see the Golden State Warriors go back another season and try to win 73 or 74 games. I'm not going to lie to you. I would like them to try to do that one year just so they can go back and right that wrong. But we saw Jordan Poole come into his own, right? Even so much so that when Steph Curry first came back in the first round, Poole was cooking and had the offense flowing to a point where it's like, we don't want to disturb this. Let's go ahead and let the young man cook. And we've already said this. That right there may have been one of the biggest key points to Poole's career. It wasn't just having him play all season and really start to get used to his role, right? By the time he took over that starting position for Stephen Curry, he was used to the role. But what he had now, because of what they did in the first round of the playoffs, was the confidence to now do it at the highest level. To be able to black out, go unconscious, and just play ball. These are the Warriors 2.0. And I don't even think we realize how different but similar they are to their reigning, defending championship squad from a couple years ago. I don't think we realize how really close they are to that team. Let me drop some dimes on you real quick. Right? Hold on, because I don't want you to spill your tea. I've been spanking mine all day. A little Tangeray. You know. Jimmy Butler going to the back. Oh no, I didn't say early. Just going to the back. It's over. Wait, is that Greg Williams' brand new baby? Did he bring his 2-week-year-old baby to the game? Is that irresponsible? Is that irresponsible bringing a 2-week-old baby to a game? I don't care if you're a player or not. Is that kind of irresponsible? Let me leave him alone. Whatever, do what you do, B. Like I'm not really judging you based off of that. That just caught me off guard. Like, I'm not saying that because that's outside of fandom. That's outside. Like, I just really thought it was kind of like, oh, dude, yeah, it's poor taste. Blah, sacre bleu. Pooey. So let's get back to it. The Warriors, they've been for real. Like, I don't think anybody's been taking them for granted, but it's kind of like what they've been wanting is like you forget in a sense of who these people are when you don't see them for a year, when you don't see them for 2 years, and then you see everybody else start growing in the league, and they're like, damn, everybody else has been getting better. How is this person going to keep up? How can they be that same dominant person? Well, also they're that same dominant team. See, we talk about cultures and atmospheres and stuff like that, right? One culture we don't talk about enough so far, I think, at times either right now, is probably the Golden State Warriors, right? We've talked about San Antonio's culture. We talked about Boston Celtics culture. right? We've and when I say talk about complimented, right? We've complimented the Miami Heat culture, even up to recent. But for what the Golden State Warriors have been building under Steve Kerr and Stephen Curry, right? That also started with Mark Jackson, right? Doesn't get enough credit either because, like I said, this really is a remix to that championship stride, and it's so closely weaving. We're kind of blinded by it, right? Or we're kind of oblivious to it, I should say. The two players that they probably have right now making the most difference are kind of the same two players that they had before. Doing the same exact shit. Just remixed to adapt to today's era and today's game. Which is exactly what you need and you should have. Jordan Poole is your Sean Livingston. He is him. That other light-skinned guy off the bench that can dribble, post up, shoot, pass. You don't understand? Run the offense. Take the ball out of Stephen Curry's hands so Stephen Curry can play his Ray Allen, not Richard Jefferson, but Rip Hamilton roll. Move without the ball, get to his space, and yaka. 3 times for the people in the back. And Andrew Wiggins is your Andrew Iguodala. You're athletic, wing guy, defensive, 3-point shot, slasher. You don't have to put the ball in your hand and score 20 points per game like you used to. You heard Steph say it. You don't have to score those 20 points per game like you used to. Like we know that you can. You don't have to worry about that kind of responsibility. Andre Iguodala, come here. You don't have to put up 20 points per game like you used to in Philadelphia. Run out of gas in the fourth quarter and can't help your team. Nah, just do what we need you to do. Play defense, be a slash. You know what I mean? Play defense. You can relax on offense, put more money into the defense, catch you, slash, and get rebounds, things like that. Be vocal on defense, help call out picks, help be a defensive anchor. Remember what we said about the Golden State Warriors years ago when they lost that championship, and they had Harrison Barnes as their small forward. When we told that they didn't need Kevin Durant to win a championship, they just needed slightly better than Harrison Barnes, and more importantly, somebody that can probably be another ball handler. Because that's really what they missed, was somebody that can get their own shot with the ball in their hand. They went full extreme on that measuring stick. They got the best of the best. They didn't get just slightly better than Matthew Barnes. They got Harrison Barnes. They got better than everybody in that category. But they only needed better than Harrison Barnes to do it. Right now, that's exactly what they have here. They have Harrison Barnes all over again. Look at it. They have guys like Otis Porter and Lee and all these other guys, all these other shooters, all these other bench players. And if you don't see how closely knit, not only closely knit this team is, but also closely knit to that championship team that they were, you're gonna be in for a surprise. Now it's funny though, because I don't think the Miami Heat would have a chance against the Golden State Warriors. But I believe that the Boston Celtics have a better chance against them for some reason. We may have to go a little bit more depth into that. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday for the rest of our lives. I know that I'm saying that right here. Let me put a marker on here. Right at the 49-minute mark. Right? Let's call it the 50. Let's call it a 50-minute mark exactly. Because I'll go ahead and just stall it again and then re-say it right now. When it comes to the finals, well, I think why. Well, obviously, it's like Golden State's gonna go there. But when it comes to the finals, I don't think the Miami Heat have a chance when it comes to playing the Golden State Warriors. And I'll go ahead and say it now. But I believe the Boston Celtics have a better chance. I don't think either one of them will win against the Golden State Warriors. I just think for some reason, for matchup reasons, I think the Golden State Warriors have a better. The Boston Celtics have a better chance against the Golden State Warriors than the Miami Heat. And also because I don't think Miami Heat would have a chance against them. But ultimately, I hate both of those squads. So I hope both of them lose to the Golden State Warriors, and Stephen Curry and them could go in and get their 5th ring. Is it 5th? Is it 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th? Was it 1 before Kevin Durant and then 2 with him? I think it is. No, yeah, I think so. This is this is their 3rd ring. They're going after their 4th to tie LeBron James. That's what that is. And man, let's talk about, because we haven't even really talked about the game yet. We just talked about the scenario so far, right? Like the storylines that have surrounded them. This game was crazy, right? But again, this is another game where, yeah, Dallas came out hot. They really did. They came out hot and they had an early lead in this game. Kind of similar to what Boston did to Miami, right? But it just didn't end the same way. The Golden State Warriors would start chipping away. You saw they were down by 8, I think. I remember I was sitting right here talking to my boy. They were down by 8. Stephen Curry comes out, hit a 3-point shot. Right? Was it down by 8 or were they down by, up by 7? Yeah, up by 7. I remember thinking to myself, okay, they come down and hit a point and hit a shot here. You're talking about a 4 or 5 point game. You know what I mean? With the time that they have left, then next this thing gets opened up from there. That's what I was thinking. Steph Curry comes out, hit a 3-point shot. Then they miss. Andrew Wiggins gets a put back dunk. Come back into the corner. Steph Curry hits another 3-point shot. Next thing you know, the Warriors are up by 1, and less than a minute, the Golden State Warriors removed a 7-point deficit. Like it was nothing. And then they just started cooking and it was a wrap. No looking back, yakety yak, don't talk back. They turned to salt. And the Boston and not the Boston Celtics, but the Dallas Mavericks were definitely salty after this. And not for nothing, they're doing their best, right? People I know what people are saying sometimes, that they're only getting double-digit points, or they're only getting production from Luka and Dinwiddie and Jalen Brunson. But normally that's enough. It's just not enough for Golden State. You understand? No. Let me give you the numbers, right? Because it's not just double digit they're getting. They're getting 40 from Luka, 20 from Brunson, 26 from Spencer Dinwiddie. When they talked about the big 3 in Miami back in those days, when they talked about them having 86 points between the 3 of them, they were also normally talking about a win. You understand? Most teams hope to have 3 guys that they can put on the floor and at any given time give them 20 plus points. To be honest with you, you would generally think that, hey, if I can get my 3 guys on the floor at the same time or whenever, that are Dinwiddie, Jalen Brunson, and Luka, that I can play point guard, shooting guard, and small forward by position, I should be in a good position to win a basketball game. And you're right. under normal circumstances. Versus 95% of the league. That's good enough. Like, so it's not that. So I want to say that. So when I say that, that they're just not good. They're just not good enough to beat the Golden State Warriors. This kind of effort is good enough. I now understand. Like, they need to get better scoring from everybody else, right? Finney Smith got you 9 points. Reggie Bullock was 0 for 7, 0 for 7 for 3, 0 for 10 for from field goal range. He scored nothing. He didn't even go to the free throw line because he doesn't drive to the lane. Actually, I'm lying. He went to the lane. Got 1 free throw attempt. Missed it. Powell got you 3 points. They went 9 deep in their rotation. No points from Kleber. 2 points from Bertantes on a driving dunk. Like the first dunk he's had. I think that's only like one of like 3 dunks he's had all season. And also nothing from Frank again. So the Golden State Warriors may have conceded to a couple of things. They may have conceded that, we definitely can't stop Luka. But also at the same time, Jalen Brunson's probably going to do his thing, and so is Spencer Dinwiddie. These guys just have some kind of characteristic that are going to allow them to score 20-something points. So those 3 guys can do their thing. Nobody else going to score. While the Golden State Warriors, you have your big 4 putting up their numbers. You have Stephen Curry that he puts up 31 points. Klay Thompson puts up 19. Draymond Green puts up 10. And Poole only gave you 10 points as well. But the 3-pointer that he made at the end of the game were 3 of the more crucial points of his 10. And it was really the closer, like the nail in the coffin, to be able to shut this team down in the end of game 3. But you also got 10 points from Green. You got 9 from Looney, but Looney also grabbed you 12 points. 12 rebounds, I mean. And then obviously the man of the hour, Andrew Wiggins, with his 27 points. 11 rebounds. 3 assists. And he was bodying people. Like I said, he posterized Luka Doncic. He had a putback dunk towards the stretch when they were trying to finally take the lead because the Golden State Warriors had been down for the majority of the game. This game last night. If there had to be an overreaction that I was willing to indulge in after this one game last night, right? That would be, I don't know how any team is going to stop the Golden State Warriors and Stephen Curry from getting their 4th championship. Or the Golden State Warriors with Stephen Curry on getting their 4th championship. I don't know how you're going to stop them. At all. And I think I've mentioned this already to you guys. When it comes to the Golden State Warriors, right, especially with the way that they play, and not just the 3-point shot, but the ball movement, right, the defense, the smarts. Like I said, they threw out at least 4 different sets that I can recognize. At the Dallas Maverick. Like I said, it was a boxing 1 zone, then it was a 3-2 zone at one point in time. They ran man to man. What else did they run? Did they run a 2? No, they didn't run a 2-3 zone. They picked him up full court. That could have only been the 3. It could have been at the full court press. But even full court press is a defensive set. So you saw them just constantly just keep Luka off his axis. Even while he scored 40 points. It's different. And part of the reason why it's different is because Stephen Curry isn't going to run out of gas the way Chris Paul did. Not at this stage of his career yet. And also, because Stephen Curry and this squad has won a championship, they know what's needed to break through that glass ceiling. CP3 doesn't. So, you always have the opportunity to beat them because they fully don't know what it takes to take it all the way through the top. They can take it to the top. They get to the tape. They don't know how to run through the tape. They're the wide receiver that has a wide open touchdown, and they always let the ball go on the 1 yard line. That's them. While the Golden State Warriors know and have learned that we have to run through the tape. We have to make sure we have possession all the way through the back of the end zone. Like, when we get to the top, that's not the top. We have to break through the top and and get to the peak. So that's also the difference. The difference is in also a little bit of intensity, I guess I want to say, between the two teams, is because the Golden State Warriors knew not to let Dallas back in that game. Or not just back in that game. Back in the series. By allowing them to win that game. And I say allowing them to win that game because they willed and skilled themselves their way to a victory. So now we find the Golden State Warriors up 3-0. I want to find out what's the origin of gentleman's sweep. Like, you know what? Because gentleman's sweep really just sounds like a gentleman's way of saying that I just busted your ass. But because I'm such a gentleman, I'm like, you know what? I didn't bust his ass. I just kind of gave him a little gentleman sweep. What happens when somebody sweeps your ass? If they're like, yo, this nigga got swept up and down the thing. Like, yo, that means you got drugged up and down. That means you got your ass bust. Pillar to post. I'm going to have to look up the origin of gentleman sweep. Because gentleman sweep just sounds like a really nice way of still saying I bust your ass. And I guess that's what it means by being a gentleman. Where's my remotes? See if I can find something else to put on. Oh. We almost forgot something. So let's go ahead and speaking of something to put on, right? Let's go ahead and remind you guys about this, right? And it's something that we have been talking about now for about, if we're talking about something that's 95 days in the making, so we've been talking about this easily for 81 of them. And that is about the one thing that we probably want for Christmas more than anything else, hopefully. She doesn't have to wait this long. So I hope I can have it for my birthday. And that is the freedom of one Brittany Griner. Yes, folks, we like to remind you guys and talk and make sure we take some time out of every single podcast to remind you guys that Brittany Griner still happens to be a hostage of Russia on trumped-up weed charges, where she is currently being held hostage now for what has been 95 days. Now, we always talk about Brittany Griner because sometimes, as we say, as we know that our women athletes, video shows fight between airline worker and passenger in Newark. Oh, goddamn Jersey, man. Ooh, damn. Damn. Florida. almost sent them back on a conveyor belt. That dude almost became luggage. I gotta turn this. For real. They almost made that dude luggage. Stop playing with me. Hey, yo. We're gonna go on some NBA TV. See what's popping up over there. Yeah, let's go to the NBA network. Hey now. But let's go ahead and talk about Brittany Griner. Actually, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and take our first break of the podcast, and when we'll come back, we'll get a little bit more into Brittany Griner and talk about her, and remind you guys of the phenomenal athlete that Brittany Griner is. But before we do that, we'll tell you how you could be phenomenal, right? And you could be phenomenal as well with a little thing called Blue Chew. What is Blue Chew? Well, Blue Chew just happens to be a little blue pill that can get you back your thrill. All you have to do is open up a packet, head straight to the sack. Just a few chews before you do. What am I talking about? Blue Chew. This thing has the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. Yes, folks, it's chewable Viagra and Cialis. So this is one opportunity that you just can't miss. She's gonna love how you come through like a champ when you Blue Chew in advance, and for a very low cost, you can beat it up like a boss. The only thing you'll need to do, if you want to try Blue Chew, is use my promo code. We have a promo code of LJYJ. Yes, folks, this week's promo code is LJYJ. That's Lima, Juliet, Yankee, Juliet, and you can get your first order of Blue Chew for free. Yes, folks, that is a promo code to get yourself the first order of Blue Chew for free from the good folks here on the MyT Sports Podcast. And when you get your Blue Chew, folks, there's going to be 2 instructions that you're going to need to follow very closely. So I want you to pay attention because I don't want you to fuck this up. You chew it, and then you do it. That's it. Ladies, you can order it too. Don't be listen. Just like how ladies, you can carry condoms, but like, hey yo, make sure you show protection. Or make sure you got protection. Like, hey yo, my dude, yeah, you don't got one, I got one of these for you. You know what I mean? You gotta make sure you stay protected. You go to be like, hey yo, my dude, you've been drinking a lot today. You know what I mean? Like, hey yo, my dude, you said you was about to do a lot of shit in your text messages. I want to make sure that you do all of that shit. Here goes a Blue Chew. Candy. My dude, you know what I mean? You've been talking to shorties here all day, saying all the good stuff. Listen. Don't get it twisted. I got a date coming up pretty soon. I'm telling you right now, that Thursday night, I'm popping a Blue Chew. I'm gonna stay ready. You know what I mean? You don't have to get ready if you stay ready. You understand? Guys, you go out, you've been drinking a little too much, enjoying a little bit too much time. You come home a little drunk and you're like, damn, girl, I'm gonna tear that up. And the next thing you know, you're just pushing roll. You know what I mean? Over there, you pushing little P. Little P. I'm gonna show you how to push a capital P. Take a Blue Chew. It cures whiskey dick. So let's say it. You get a cure for whiskey dick. Again, I'll remind you, the promo code is LJ, Lima Juliet, YJ, Yankee Juliet. First order of Blue Chew for free. You won't regret it. Actually, you'll be coming back for more. I guarantee. Blue Chew. Now why you wanna go and do that? You do that. And now why you wanna go and do that? Okay. Let's go ahead and get into a little bit of something. Yo, I took them out. I'm an asshole for that one. Damn it. I forgot about something. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and talk and go back into the story and talk about Brittany Griner, right? As I remind you guys again that Brittany Griner has been locked up now for 95 days. She has been locked up. She's been falsely detained in Russia on trumped up weed charges. Easiest way I can say it so it can relate to everybody, to every black American, every black person in America. Yep, she's being held on trumped-up weed charges, right? And she's also being used as leverage for negotiations so that they can try to bring, so that America can possibly release one of their arms dealers, right? Known armed terrorist dealer, right? So that's one of the things that they're trying to do. Part of the reason why they probably didn't want to make a big stink about Brittany Griner, so that she wouldn't be given more importance, so they can try to use her to try to get back more collateral, use her for more leverage. But it's only so long that you can silence the American people. We've never been silenced here on the MyT Sports Podcast, while other industries and other productions and other networks may have taken that silence until they couldn't take it anymore. We never took that oath of silence. I'm sorry. Like, one of the things too, we will admit it. I don't think I was big enough to be enough on anybody's radar. I know I'm big enough to be on ESPN's research and development team. Like, yeah, they're on our team. Is always listen to the podcast, right? and I know that you listen to this podcast too, Ricky Rose. You know what I mean? But other than that, I was like, yeah, nah, we ain't big enough. But we're also not small enough that our voices won't be heard and it won't get touched. That listen, every single time that we have a podcast, until that she gets free, we will remind you guys of who this badass woman is, and that is because they don't say enough about her. Because like I said, if she would have been a beloved member like your Kyrie Irving or Kevin Garnett, I'm trying to think of another individual with one championship that if they were to be falsely detained by another country, you could go Google Gaga. If they were Aaron Rodgers, we would hear about this every single day. Yes, folks, she is on the level of those guys. She is an Aaron Rodgers like person in the WNBA. Yes, folks, she is a Kevin Garnett like person in the WNBA. Yes, she is a Kyrie Irving like person in the without the headaches. Right? I mean, yes, she is that polarizer. She is that good. She is that skilled. She is a champion, a 7-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champ, 8-time block leader, 2-time peak performer, 3-time NBA first team, 3-time NBA second team, 2-time defensive player of the year, 3-time defensive first team, 4-time defensive second team. She's been on an all rookie team. You only can make that team once, obviously. NCAA champion, most outstanding player, AP player of the year, Big 12 player of the year 3 times, defensive player of the year 4 times, high school player of the year, means that she was the best player in the nation coming out of high school. High school player of the year. You heard me talk about the second woman in NBA history to dunk a ball not too long ago in Candace Parker. Well, guess what? Brittany Griner is the third woman in NBA history to dunk a ball. She's all of that and a bag of chips and more. Talk about kettled corn, salt and vinegar, jalapeno, black kettled corn. I'm talking about kettled, cracked pepper, and I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Like, she's a badass woman when it comes. She's a badass person when it comes to her sport. All the people I saw out there talking shit about Candace Parker and all the other stuff, right? You understand that she is 100 times more skilled in her job than you are had ever been in anything that you do. Just saying. And yet you out there talking shit. But you know what's funny though? Because you still talk, you're still at least commenting, you're still talking, and you're still interacting. Well, just go ahead and share and watch. And for everybody that does love the sport, folks, something, and this is how I know they listen. This is how I know they listen. Something that I have been wanting now from them for probably the last 3 years. They have done. And I think last year may have been the first time that we actually gave a practical solution for something that we would actually accept for it. And even that has happened. So I don't know if you guys have known for we've always told you about the price of the WNBA every single time it comes out, right? Every single time the WNBA, every time the season starts, we always remind you guys. Because in the past, you were able to purchase the whole entire season of the WNBA for $16, folks. $16 for the whole season. You understand everybody else's season like 250. So for 16, and that's why I say, like, whether you watch it or not, subscribe. It's $25. I'm sorry, it's $16. Like all of that exposure, all of the things that you be like, oh, well, if you want them to say, you see, you always have all of your suggestions that you want to give, or all of your stipulations that you want to have onto why you want to watch them or support them. When they're giving you all kinds of ways to watch and support them. Well, maybe if you lower the rim I seen that stupid shit again. You only lower the rim 1 foot. Well, what if they cut an inch off your dick? How about that? Yeah, you don't like how that sounds, do you? Stupid motherfucker. Sorry, you guys piss me off. And they won't cuss you out, but I will. What they need is support. Whether you watch it or not, pay for the subscription. It was $16. What's gonna hurt you? You spend more than that on weed, but it gives you access to at least watch. Now you at least have it there to watch, to consume, to go into. Now what used to happen for $16.99 though, you get the whole season, but you could only watch it on your phone or on your laptop. That was very annoying to me. Because you wouldn't do other things. You want to be on your phone sometimes. Or you may have to do so. If I'm going to sit here and watch a game, I may need to be on my laptop. Even if I'm projecting it to the TV, I may need to be on there to do something. Well, folks, that has been fixed. That has now officially been fixed. I don't know if I said it last year, but I know I definitely said it this year. I should have definitely repeated by this year. I was willing to pay an extra $8 more. I mean, I was willing to get up to $24.99 if you would have found a way to get it in a regular app store so I could watch it on my television, because that is super fucking annoying. That is one reason why I've missed a lot of games, because I'm like, damn, I remember to go on my phone for this. I can't just be like, oh, what can I watch today? Oh, let me just go right into the WNBA app and put on a game in the afternoon and watch that. You get your ratings and get everything. And guess what, folks? That is now a thing. For $24.99, you can purchase the whole entire season for the WNBA, folks. $24.99. And now you can watch it on your phone, you can watch it on your laptop, you can watch it on your tablet, and now you can watch it on your television through your Fire Stick or other Android devices. Apple TV, things like that. They have on all of them now, folks. And that is probably, I think, the biggest... Oh, shit will popped up. And that's probably the biggest thing that they could have done. One of the biggest things they could have done recently is just make it more easily accessible. Because access is key as well too. Like, people don't like to have to jump through too many hoops to have to go find their sports or to go find the things that they need. The easier you can make it to find, the better for people. And that's what they have done. Hey, you know what? I'm not even going to comment on Chill Will's, what he's saying. I'm just going to smoke to it. So I immediately, yes folks, as soon as I found it out, you already know what I did. I updated my information and I purchased the season today, and I watched again Candace Parker put on a masterful performance, and she recorded another triple double, and not for nothing, I was surprised. I really was surprised that there aren't a lot more triple doubles in the WNBA. Only because you have a lot of women that put up, like, there's a lot of double machines, right? There are tons of double machines in the WNBA. I just didn't realize that there weren't that many triple doubles being attained. Obviously, I thought there was gonna be a lot of, like, a few centers, like foul, like you know what I mean, like fouls and stuff like that. I thought she would have had a couple of triple doubles by the time of her career. Cheryl Swoops, I thought, would have had a couple in her career. I thought Candace Parker would have had more than two, to be honest with you. Like, but the fact that they said that, yo, she's the only one to put up multiple triple doubles. I'm like, only? Really? I'm like, well, shit, you guys must be double machines. Like, shit. I know damn near every guard, right? Every point guard is damn near a double machine. Especially the good ones. And the WNBA is riddled with talent, because the league they don't have enough teams. So their teams get stacked with talent. I'm talking about stacked. We're talking about NBA in the 60s stacked. But it's a nice good step. And also the Seattle Storm. They recently purchased and built a new practice facility. Completely upgraded, more, better amenities, things like that. But also they put it closer to the men's facility as well, so that there can be more exchanges and interaction and also interactions basically more interactions, so they can also train together a little bit. You know what I mean? You don't have to go so far to see each other, and that also they can start integrating themselves more as a whole entire family, because you guys see it all the time. The NBA players, they make it out to WNBA games. They really do. They go out there and they show their support for real. Like, they definitely make it out there. They make it out there. So now they get their... That's what it's like watching, too, the NBA in the 50s. I'll read that one. Listen, and there's some people from that era that you can't even talk to today and be like, yo, and convinced that there's a player better than some of the players that they saw back then. I'm just saying. Which, I'm glad that came up. I wanted to talk about that. I actually kind of wanted to talk about that. So, let's go ahead and do that. Right? We'll go ahead and switch gears. So I want to talk about that topic before I forget. I'm not writing that shit down. Oh shit, what's going on, Johnny? I just realized Johnny popped up. So, what you guys forget now. So the WNBA season has started, right? Candace Parker and her Chicago Sky ended up beating Ella Deladon and the Washington Mystics not too long ago, right? Candace Parker ended up putting up a mean-ass triple-double. But more importantly, her championship team ended up getting the W. And the WNBA app is now on your Fire Stick and your Apple TVs, so it can now be streamed. You can now watch it directly on whatever device you have hooked up to your TV, folks. And that is big. That is big, as they continue to take progressive steps because not for nothing, I feel like the WNBA, they've been stagnant for a while, right? It's as if like the owners, they weren't really like all of them were, and we see this in some other leagues too, right? Because we see, and all leagues have this. The NBA has this, the NFL has this, Major League Baseball has this. You have some owners that are fully vested in trying to not just better their team, but better their sport and make just general life better, and also trying their best to promote it and monetize it and help make it a profit. And then you have some people that just own it and be like, hey, we'll just let it sit here and let it just do its natural thing. You know what I mean? That's, it'll, like, we have it here. It'll do a thing, and they're okay to break even. Right? But now you're starting to get, not only because of what was about to happen, right? Where if he was still alive, rest in peace to Kobe, right? He would have, see, and that's the reason why I really, so like, I think for this reason I really wish Kobe was alive now, because all of the people that talk all of that shit about the WNBA, I wanted to hear them talk that shit when Kobe was presenting it. Like all that shit, I wanted to hear them say all that with Kobe, because like half of them would have went over there and been watching it would have started watching the WNBA and been more supportive of it just to suck Kobe's dick. Like we all know this. I really wish Kobe was alive just to watch all of those people's energy shift, just because this is something that Kobe is now doing. So they're like, oh shit, Kobe's doing it. That was cool. Hey, let's go watch this. Because half of them couldn't think for themselves before that. I really miss Kobe before them, but you see the footprints that Kobe left behind started to now pick up momentum as we just seen the soccer team just get just be able to negotiate equal pay for their contribution to the Olympics. and we're starting to see constant momentum, Title IX momentum, continuously to take place. Like, hey, NIL probably the best thing that could happen also for women's sports, especially for college, because there are some women's programs they're gonna make so much money, and I think that's gonna be the big part of it too, is that they can now start making their money from college, and that also is gonna help, especially for places like the WNBA, because now they can get proper exposure early, they can get monetized exposure early, and that wave is just gonna go directly into their NBA career. It's good to see guys like Al Davis. Is it Al Davis? Steve Davis, whatever his son's name is. Right? Steve Davis, Al Davis' son, joined the WNBA and want to invest. Like I said, we've seen investments coming recently. Due to the movement. You saw what Kobe was starting to put into it. Right? So you're starting to see things. Now, you're starting to see a lot more momentum starting to pick up lately, as it seems like they're not just allowing the league to just sit back and be stagnant. Because we all know that if you're stagnant, then you're falling behind. You have to constantly be progressive and constantly be growing. And it looks like they're starting to work through ways to also weed out those owners that weren't trying to be progressive in the sport, and see if they can find also more progressive owners. So let's see if this also leads to also. This is stuff that I'm hearing, right? So so let's see if this will also lead to more stuff now, like to more other athlete investors. One of the things that I think that it should be happening already. Now let's see if we can start getting, the Dwayne Wades and the LeBron James, and maybe even I would not be surprised. It will be the one time I would actually fully accept it. God damn it, that's how desperate I am. But I'll even take Alex Rodriguez buying in. I would not be surprised if Alex Rodriguez eyes this, as Alex Rodriguez just recently, like I said, we heard him trying to buy a football team, right? He recently just bought into the PFL, one of the MMA leagues or whatever, like the pro fighting league. He's in on the XFL. Like I said, Alex Rodriguez is really trying to get. He bought into a part of like an NBA team. He's trying to make sure he can get in part of anywhere he can. I understand it. I get it. So won't be surprised if you hear about Alex Rodriguez possibly owning a WNBA team. And this will be one of those few times, like I said, like where I won't have anything negative to say about Alex Rodriguez. Actually, you know what, Alex Rodriguez? Somebody tag Alex in this. Alex Rodriguez, if you want to buy a WNBA team, I think I actually know the perfect place for you to buy one at. Right here in South Florida. Right here in South Florida. You know, yeah, Alex. Yeah, imagine it now. You own a team in South Florida, right? You have your suites. You have all the access to all the La Playas, all of the putas. La Playas and putas, homie. La Playas and putas. Like there's a J-Lo every 10 blocks. That's all I'm saying. And I was about to say every 10 women there's a J-Lo. But but it's actually probably a little more like you could catch a J-Lo every 3 blocks, actually, most likely. Like we're talking about putting a WNBA team down there. You know what? You put a nice little club in there like they do for the FTX arena. You making a whole experience. You make it a vibe. You know what to do for South Florida. You can't just put a WNBA team in an arena. You have to make it a vibe. But what you do, don't go crazy. Put it in like one of those little tiny arenas, right? Where you can pack it and it can just get rocking. So that way you get advantage. You could take advantage of when you do have a packed crowd. That motherfucker is going, and it gives a home court advantage. Like make it like a college arena, kind of in a sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like where you can take it, where you don't have to worry about trying to lose money on seats because hey, I don't have that many seats. Plus, also we're talking in today's era anywhere people want to watch stuff remotely more than anything else, right? So start making sure you put these WNBA games in the metaverse. Be the forefront person on that, Alex Rodriguez. Just saying. They're just throwing out some free ideas out there for you guys. This is what I would be doing if I had you guys if I had your money. I'm just saying. I'm just letting you guys know. I'm telling you right now, you attach that court to a club that's always open. So even if you're not going to the game, you can go to the club. And obviously this is a decent club. WNBA players are there all the time. Make it a real vibe. Yeah, you got that one for free. Let's see here. That one came in like that one was a rant for a while. That one came in like the hour and 25-minute mark. Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod, it's on you. It's on you right now. Like, you over here trying to get everything everywhere else. You trying to get soccer teams. You trying to get baseball teams. You trying to get... This is the next step. This is the next progressive step. Also, it fits your lifestyle. Like, if owning a WNBA team in South Florida didn't fit anybody else's lifestyle, it definitely fits yours. It definitely fits yours. You understand the kind of doors... And honest, you're Alex Rodriguez. You need a lot of doors open for you, but you understand, like it's like you literally have your own private pipeline of putas. Your puta pipeline. Seriously. But I'm gonna warn you right now, Alex. If you own the team, you can't be in a relationship with any of your players. Okay? You can't start fucking your players. And I'm telling you, there's going to be one of your players that would have had a crush on you ever since you was a little kid. Or whatever it is. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a setup, and that's how you're going to lose your team. Don't fuck your players. Alright. Speaking of players getting fucked, let's go ahead and move on up to the next segment, right? Because this, outside of the players actually playing games, this may be the very next biggest thing that's probably going to affect the NBA championship more than anything else. And that is just wholeheartedly injuries.
The mighty injury report.
Like, I don't know if you guys understand. It's a fucking massacre out there. There are bodies, like being lost every day. Like it really feels like teams out here going to war. The Miami Heat, Kyle Lowry, hamstring. Tyler Hero, groin. PJ Tucker, knee. Max Strauss, hammy. Gabe Vincent, hammy. Jimmy Butler, knee. Tucker, Jimmy, Lowry, Hero. That's damn near 4 starters. I'm not saying you guys saw the blowout today for the Boston against Miami Heat. And it's not to say that the Boston Celtics don't have their own problems. Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum, shoulder, but he played. Marcus Smart, ankle. I don't think he played. Hauser, shoulder. Williams, knee. Golden State Warriors, Ottis Porter, feet. Or foot, sorry. Andre Iguodala, neck. Gary Payton II, elbow. Wiseman, knee. Dallas, Luka, shoulder. Hardaway, foot. Bullock, shoulder. He fucked, we talked about Reggie Bullock only and his poor shooting. He shot 0 for 12. But he also fucked up his shoulder early in the game. And came back and muscled it out. And I know people like to say, well, it's not his shooting shoulder. That's because it's not your and people don't understand this, right? And they say this a lot, and I think it's kind of programmed us or some people to make us believe that, oh, if it's not your shooting hand, then you're okay. Because we've seen some great players like Kobe, like just wrap up their shoulder or wrap up their fingers and just not use that finger to shoot or play a game and shoot with their offhand. Like, you understand, Kobe was a different monster. He was the 1% of the 1%. Reggie Bullock, he fucked up his shoulder, and we don't talk about enough when people have injuries to their offhand or their off extremity is that don't mean I don't fuck up your mechanics. If my shoulder is the problem that you're talking about I'm gonna have with my shooting shoulder is I'm gonna have the same problem with my non-shooting hand, a non-shooting shoulder. If you would have thought, if you're saying to yourself like, oh damn, oh look, at least it's his non-shooting shoulder. What problem did you think I would have had if it was my shooting shoulder? What? Maybe it's such a contusion that I can't lift my arm up. Well, if I can't lift my non-shooting arm up, how the fuck am I supposed to get into a shooting motion? A proper shooting motion. Like I said, unless you are just a freak of nature like Kobe, right? Then how many of these NBA players are just gonna shoot with their offhand the rest of the game and be effective? How many of them can shoot with all of a sudden is gonna switch over and shoot with one hand and be effective? See, we marvel at that feat that Kobe did because when he did it, he was effective. The fact that he even tried to do it is even phenomenal enough, but he also did it, he was effective. That's what makes him special. Nobody else will even think to do it. And the ones that do, they're probably not effective. I'm not saying that Reggie Bullock is Kobe. No, not at all. I'm just saying that we've been trained we get spoiled by sometimes comparing people to what the greatest of the greatest of the greatest of the greatest do. They're not realizing that there are common people out there. And the common person can't do that even when they're you understand? The common person of the 1% still can't do what the 1% of the 1% can do. In his space, he's normal. And normal people are his normal ass. Like, hey, my non-shooting shoulder's fucked up. 0 for 12 kind of night. But we also said this about Reggie Bullock. We said Reggie Bullock has a lot of John Starks in him. If he starts off 0 for 12 or 0 for 2, you may get a 3 for 12 night from him. Because things are gonna look bad early. But let him hit his first two out of his first two shots or first two out of his first 3-pointers. Then you may look at a 9 for 12 night that night. Everything is hidden. It all depends on what happens early. He's gonna play defense all game. He'll give you that. And that's part of the reason why Reggie Bullock came back in that game, to give him some D. Pause. But he wasn't effective shooting. Some people could get through it. Luka Doncic, he muscled through his. Jason Tatum muscled through that shoulder. We see Ottis Porter tried to come back on his feet. Couldn't make it. So yeah, injuries are real serious.
Otto. It's Otto. He doesn't have an S on the end of his name.
Who?
Otis don't even sound like somebody's name. You just made that up.
Ottis Porter? Otis Porter, my bad. Otis Porter.
Otis?
Otis. I said Otis. It's Otis Porter. My bad. Otis. What?
Porter.
Huh?
You talking about Otto Porter Jr.?
Yeah, Otis Porter Jr.
Man, you are the king.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Auto, it's O-T-T-O. Auto.
Otis?
Man, this guy is the worst.
Oh my god.
You've done this shit for the last month. I just heard you just keep calling this dude Otis. Otis, I mean, that sounds like an animal. Like a name. And then Otis, if it's not, it could be Otis. If it was Otis, that's still messed up. Otis. The easiest name in the world. And then it's neither one of them. It's Otto. Like the car. It's Otto. Otto Porter.
Oh, okay. Like Audi Porter. You said like the car, right? Audi.
Auto, like automobile.
Auto. Okay.
Auto.
That don't even sound good though. I like Otis better.
Man, Otis don't sound like no. That sound.
And you know what's funny? I have been here for probably like the last week or so, like stepping all over his name. Like I've said his name probably 4 different times.
Yes, no, more than that. Because I've heard you. I heard you 4 times. I wasn't here the whole time.
Oh god.
So you definitely said it right. Like
because I think it started when we were trying to determine who was gonna guard Luka, and I think that's when we started like, yo, it could be Otis Porter, it could be Otto Porter, it could, you know what I mean, it could be Otis Porter. They could throw all of them at him.
Yeah, man, it's a wrap for them.
Oh no, yeah, it's a big rap for them. It's a big rap for them. It's a good learning experience, as always.
Yeah, but it's gonna give them a leg up because they're gonna win. I mean, I should have put money on it at the beginning of the year. Should have put money on Brooklyn and Golden State. I gotta start betting more. Like I just haven't. Because I'm not a big better like our gambler. Cause I just don't do it. But some things just make sense, right?
Yeah.
So if you take $5 and put it on, you know, Golden State to win the ring, whether the odds or not, obviously there's gonna be probably not the best.
I seen somebody. No, let me see. I know I saw online somebody that's betted like around like $6,000, and the payout is gonna be about 80,000. Right, and whoever the betting site is, they're willing to cash him out right now at like 39,000.
I seen that too.
So I was like, oh damn. I was like, okay. Like, see, that's that shit though, ain't it? Because like, damn, how confident? What's that?
That'd be silly though, because Boston hurt, Miami hurt.
But who ain't hurt though? But you know what though? You know who ain't hurt? Golden State ain't really hurt. You're right though, because for Boston, like
they might get about a whole extra week and a half. What?
Yeah, like 12 days. They may get like 2 whole weeks off damn near.
Yes, and for them 30-year-old, they 30. They ain't like they young no more. They 30. That's gonna be all we need.
Yeah, they in there. Yeah, they're all in their early 30s. Except for the young guys, but then. Them, like, this even better for them. Like,
I'm talking about the major people, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the major people. Like, especially with Curry, he get knick-knacked all easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he get hurt easy. Clay been, you know, he's coming off, you know, injury. Still, it's going to be good rest so they can get ready to.
Yeah, because if we're looking at this, this injury report that I have here, for the Warriors, we're really only talking about Otis Porter and CP2 really being the 2 guys that are injured. Right, we haven't counted on Wiseman in 3 years, so he don't count. And Andre Iguodala, we haven't they just kind of brought him back here. They have Andrew Wiggins now. They don't need him. Like, he's here for emotional support. He's an extension of.
I said this 2 years ago. I wish I could have bet 2 years ago. Y'all just gave Golden State. They got the team that already won the championship, even without with Durant. They gave them the first pick in the draft.
Yeah, we said it right here.
And then the second year, they got the 4th or 5th pick in the draft. I'm like, man, what? They just got a super team. They just got a super team right back.
Yep.
And then they drafted Poole, and organization is dynamic. You got Poole, then you got them guys that's on the bench. What we talking about? Like, Kuminga on the bench. You got 3 or 4 starters on the bench on other teams, like other Navy starters. This is really close to the other Wiggins is taking but he's better. He's better than Barnes. He's better than him.
But you know what? Wiggins is actually taking up Andre Iguodala's role. I feel like a whole lot more.
He's taking the Harrison Barnes role.
That too. He's doing both of their jobs.
That's what I'm saying. He's better than Harrison Barnes. He can play defense.
Or maybe Ottis Porter's doing Andre Iguodala's job and he's doing Wiggins' job.
Man, listen, Wiggins does Harrison Barnes' job times 2 because he's not only can score. I mean, he's not a shooter as Harrison Barnes is, but just everything else he's good at. He's more athletic. He's a better defender.
But he could be that shooter though. He just doesn't
score.
But yeah, he could be that shooter though.
He's overall a better scorer. Yeah, he's overall a better scorer than Harrison Barnes. So and he's more athletic. So they upgrade and they're in their primes. They're like right in the middle of their primes. So that's gonna be easy. That's gonna be an easy ring because neither one of them teams know how to win. Well, Miami maybe because they was in the championship a couple years ago, but Boston won't know what they're doing. They're gonna be deers in the headlights. It's gonna be a good series either way, I think. But I think they're gonna whoever play Golden State, they're gonna win at 6.
Yeah, I was saying it earlier. I don't think that Miami has a great chance against Golden State. I think Boston has a better chance. So I think Miami gets washed in 5, and Boston may go to 6.
They get washed in 5, and they go. No, they might go to 7 games. Go to 7. I just don't think. Because how it's been going, it's just been weird how to,
But also, I think it depends on officiating. If they call the games the way they've been calling the East, where they allow you to play, then Golden State, then it'll probably go a little bit longer. But if they have those whistles the way they've been playing it in the West, where they've been they touch you on everything, then Golden State's gonna run over them, run right through them. They're gonna run straight through the tape. They're gonna run through them like their tape.
No, they'll put the whistle in their pocket because they ain't got no bad blood. I told you, like the only reason they was calling those games like that because there's a lot of bad blood. Like Minnesota and,
No, but I'm talking about in the East. Oh well, okay, but yes, we'll see. But even in this route, I feel like they've been calling them. Oh shit! I got first goal.
Dallas. I mean, I don't know.
It hasn't been so bad. It hasn't been as bad as the first 2 rounds. But
because it was lightweight. It was noticeable the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, it was way more noticeable in the first round. But like I said,
I watched the last 2 games. I wouldn't feel like they was.
But that was Memphis though. That was 100%.
The Wiggins fouls is ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yo, let's talk about that, right? Because we actually haven't fully dissected that yet. Andrew Wiggins gets up, right? And like I said, he has a wonderful game, puts up over 20 points. But then he has his shining moment. He like they call it an NFT, but he posterized the fuck out of Luka. And what? I go to jail on my first roll? This is some bullshit. Play Monopoly while we do this podcast. So, oh my God, I'm having another thought pattern that's taken over, and I'm gonna have to address this. The NBA, they, and I don't think there's any way around this because players are always gonna keep finding ways to try, you know what I mean, to try to manipulate the system, but they swapped out one problem for another.
Oh, the NBA?
Yeah. So they no longer do I don't know if you know, they no longer do that automatic like review of every little thing in the end of 2 minutes, right? They stopped doing that. It was extending games ridiculously too long. They took that out. They changed out flopping and other little rules. But what they added was what they end up adding was the fact that they can now look at any review or any play to see like malicious intent, like intent and stuff like that, or to see if it had, you know, if it warrants a technical, basically. And I think now there's been far too many reviews of those coming about. Because that Andrew Wiggins play, when he dunked on Luka, there's nothing there that should be reviewed for a possible offensive foul or technical foul on him. But also, players are, like, you see Luka flop, act like he got hit in the face. Because if there would have been any slight contact, then, and I mean even any slight, then he could have won. He could have overturned that. They could have possibly that would have been overturned, and we're talking about taking away one of a beautiful posterizing moment. And yeah, I like it a little bit better how it is now because.
I'm glad they challenged it. I'm glad they put that challenge in too. That shit was amazing though. Like it's.
But I said that wasn't even a challenge. That was
about 5 or 10 games in the year. If you be able to catch them, maybe you might even catch 1 or 2. You know, prime time. If you just watching the game and it's in the moment, it's in front of everybody in the playoffs and something like that happened. It looked like when you go back at it, like in slow motion, it don't do it justice. Like you watching it real time, was like, oh my god, like.
Oh no, he bodied him.
Like
he went through him.
Man, but he looked like he was. It just looked crazy. It just looked like he was in the air for like so long. It was full of extension. It was everything a dunk should be, but he didn't really body him. Like he touched him, but it just looked worse from the. But either way, man, it still got dunked on.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad.
But also,
it was bad.
Can we give a to the? I know we talked about the Golden State Warriors a little bit earlier, and we talked about their culture, right? But let's really give their culture a little bit more credit because they've unlocked Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins has been a big disappointment, kind of sorta. He's been underwhelming. I don't want to say he's been a disappointment.
Yeah,
he's been
underwhelming.
He's been because
he should have been. He was supposed to be next to LeBron for the Cavs. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be something more than what he is. Like he's been basically underwhelming. That is kind of ho hum. Like so. The fact that the Golden State Warriors have unlocked Andrew Wiggins, that is big. Like really big. Like yo, big up to again. Like that goes to speak again to their culture, the things that they do in their training. How not only are players empowered by their coach and entrusted by their coach, but how the players are empowered and entrusted by their star player. Like it really speaks to how people and you hear it too, right?
It starts with Curry. You're right. It starts with Curry.
Yeah.
You hit it right on the head.
And in most of these situations,
unselfish.
Yeah.
You know.
In most of these situations, it normally does. When we hear about San Antonio, right? This is what we hear. When we hear about New England, this is what we heard. Now, when we hear about Golden State, this is what we hear. You know what we don't hear about this at? We never hear it from a LeBron James team. Unless it was like Ty Lue kinda. Ty Lue and Eric Spoelstra. And Eric Spoelstra to this day, we're kind of ready to recognize. Actually, we have recognized as one of the best coaches in the game, if not currently the best coach in the game, not named Steve Kerr. And we may give him slightly better credit than Steve Kerr because I gotta see Steve Kerr do it with nobody.
Man, that's an organizational thing. And Steve Kerr becoming a new Phil Jackson, basically, because you just don't know what you can do without that talent. But man, that's more than just a coach. That's an organization putting in another coach, but getting the best defensive mind, offensive mind, and putting them in the room. Now that's what Kerr did. He's doing what Phil Jackson, like Mike Brown, he's top 3, top 2.
Oh hell yeah!
Coach in the league. You know what I'm saying? You got Kerr. Now he been there. Mike Brown been there for so long. Now he can just all you got to do is pull up as an assistant, because they didn't got it by now. You know what I'm saying? And so you take Kerr, he's the offensive, guy, but they probably put in the offensive guru, and then they just do what they do because they got all the shooting. It makes it easy for them.
And where's Mike Brown going?
Develop.
Mike Brown's going to Sacramento.
Sacramento, yeah. And so like these guys are developing in the system. Whatever it is, they're bringing these guys along. Like Curry and Clay and Draymond, they're bringing these guys along with them.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever regimen they're doing, I feel like they're doing it as a team. Because this is one thing to, like when you get to the NBA or the NFL, they're teaching you the game. They're teaching you where to be, how to go, the aspects of football. But to actually get better at that position, say as a shooter, as a dribbler, the fundamentals to enhance that, to go to advanced fundamentals.
Like that's on you.
All that you have to do on your own. Yeah, you
they'll provide they'll provide the coach there, but you gotta go schedule that time with that coach and go put in that work with that coach.
Yeah, or just get your own.
Yeah, or get your own.
Curry, or just what I'm saying, right? So they got them there, but it's up to you to go out your way and take that initiative to be that. That's what that's the Kobe's and the Jordans. It's just the off seasons, the eating right, and all that. And so they do that. They do it as a group. I feel because you don't get these guys coming in and just coming in like this and being successful like this by mistakes. So that's why I was always telling you they got Durant. You don't need Durant.
No, they just need it better than Harrison Barnes.
Right.
Like,
he wasn't really bad.
Yeah, exactly. Like they didn't need Durant.
Like a French all-star at one point.
Yeah, Durant was like Durant was top of that food chain. They didn't need Durant. They just needed better than Harrison Barnes. And honestly, better than Harrison Barnes, but also somebody that can get their own, that can hopefully create their own shot, because that's what I always thought was their missing formula.
Wing player. Just a legitimate wing player.
Yeah.
A legitimate wing player they didn't have. They got Draymond, but he's not. He Clay. They got, but they need the actual wing guy, and that's what he brings, a legitimate wing player. Harrison Barnes wasn't that guy. He couldn't put it on the ground, get to the rim. He wasn't a slasher. He was just a one-trick pony that can play a little bit defense. Yeah, Wiggins, he can shoot now. He can go to the hole. He's the best, probably the best defender, perimeter defender on the team, right? And so, yeah, I mean, next to maybe I don't know, yeah.
No, yeah, now that Gary Payton is in there, he probably is. Actually, no, well, you're probably talking about him, Gary Payton. It's probably between him, Gary Payton, and Clay, and probably because they want to give Clay the rest on his knee.
Not no more because Clay ain't no more because
but yo, see in the half court set, you saw Clay guard. You saw him guard Luka, and Luka was locked the fuck up. It's just now, if you're gonna put that responsibility of having somebody pick him up 90 feet, you're not gonna do that to Clay. You do that to Andrew. You do that to Gary Payton.
Right.
You know what I mean? You do that to Otis.
I forgot. That's huge. That's a deep ass team, bro. They got a whole other starting five on the bench.
No, yeah. This is
4-man starting five.
This is their championship team all over again, with inserted with players that are more adaptive to today's time. It's the same kind of players because you still got an Andrew Iguodala-like guy. You still have a Sean Livingston-like guy. You still have people like that. It's just that now Sean Livingston is replaced with Jordan Poole, a guy that has a little bit more ball, has probably a little bit more flash to him, a little bit more and a natural tendency to shoot more threes. Where Sean Livingston's natural tendency was to either post up or shoot in the mid-range, but he still does his work in the mid-range because Golden State's offense still requires you to still be highly productive in the mid-range. It's just that they give you 1,000 paper cuts with the mid-range, and then suddenly you don't see these 3 points coming all of a sudden off with a leg, arm, a leg. And you're like, God damn, I'm just a fucking torso and a head over here. Where the fuck are my limbs?
Man, that's awesome.
That's what, like, and I said it again. I say it to you. I've said it before. I'll say it again. because we're about to come to a time where we have to take our hard break. When the Golden State Warriors, when they're good, or when they're good and they're cooking, since they've had this and they've always been kind of exciting, to be honest with you. But when they're in it and they're doing good, they make basketball exciting they make the NBA exciting to watch. They are, because they play an exciting style of basketball, and they play. To be honest with you, they play the best style of basketball on offense and defense. And I know people think that they take a lot of threes, but it really is kind of pure. Like, it is like they're not just like they take those threes because they have it. Like, there are teams taking 53 pointers a game and they shoot 25%. God damn it, how many times are they gonna send me to fucking jail? Sorry, got sent to jail again. This is some bullshit. I forgot what I was saying now, but I know it was generally it was just that they make back because they play the right way on offense, on ball movement and taking advantage of pick and rolls and mismatches and open shots, and and even your point guard could come off ball. And then on defense, they they can play man to man. They have the guys to guard you 96 feet. They can play zone and they'll play 2-3. They'll play 3-2. They'll play box and 1. You understand? Like they'll do it all in one set. Like, they never. People talk about them like all they do is shoot threes, but the Golden State Warriors are never complacent. And people don't realize that. They really aren't complacent when it comes to their offense or their defense. They make adjustments and they will switch shit up consistently. Look at how they played Luka. Look how many different individual matchups he had that he saw, and how many different defensive sets he looked at. They threw everything at him. And it wasn't just because you had to outsmart Luka. They're outsmarting Jason Kidd on top of it too. And Jason Kidd is out here running that shit as if he's playing in VR. Like I said, okay, I got a get out of jail free card. If there was anybody that needed a fucking get out of jail free card, it was my ass. Watch them not send me to jail anymore the rest of the game. Fucking assholes. They're slowing down my property consumption. Niggas out here eating up the board. Yeah, so I just feel a way about the Golden State Warriors. And listen, what we're gonna do here, we're gonna take a hard break, and when we come back, we're gonna continue with the final hour of the MyT Sports Podcast. In the final hour, we're gonna go over about the potential racist comments made by the Yankees player. We'll talk about that. We have an update on Dwayne Haskins. Also, we're going to see if we're going to have a discussion about either Russell Westbrook or Kyrie Irving. Who do you prefer? And I saw a list of the best point guards in 2016. Surprisingly, there wasn't somebody on that list. We'll give you that list when we come back in the final hour of the MyT Sports Podcast, right after this final hour. And folks, yeah, my schedule's all over the place. But that's short. It's okay, mama. It's okay. So is mine. So it's all right. Like what that says is that we both out here making paper and doing our thing. What? You wildin'. Somebody's about to give me an offer that they're about to get declined. So let me explain this to you before we lose everybody on Podbean. So what's about to happen, we're about to play you guys a commercial. For everybody that's on Podbean, right? You're going to lose us, but go ahead and just look for the next live feed. You're going to see that pop right back up. Everybody else, don't go anywhere. You're going to hear a nice little commercial. We'll be right back in the next minute or so right here on the MyT Sports Podcast.
They didn't join this team to win championships or become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done.
Offer me that
and only some able to do it. They are brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They are doctors,
keep your money,
lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where the lights don't flash, and the only contract they sign is with themselves and their country. One day, they may be asked what they did to make a difference in this world, and they can respond, I became a soldier.
All right, we are back with the MyT Sports Podcast. I am your host, the one who Untitled. Thank you for listening. If you've been listening, wherever you may be listening at, folks, and don't forget you can catch us anywhere that you listen to podcasts at, folks. So you can catch us either on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Podbean. That's how you call into the podcast. TikTok, Twitch. If you have Amazon Prime, definitely make sure you go get Twitch and sign up, and you get Twitch Prime for free, and you go ahead and subscribe there as well, folks. Remember, we do have a live podcast, and you can always come and you can always join the show live as well if you want to be able to hear yourself. I just got hungry, like yo, my hunger just hit. I want to let you guys know right now, I'm about to be at work at like 3 hours. Yeah. Listen, so is mine. Like, so is mine, no problem. Shit, I'm still recording, and probably have a route around 4 a.m. Alrighty. Wait, damn, you just got out? Shit. Hold on 1 second. Alright. Let's get into the last hour of the MyT Sports Podcast. Let's go ahead and bring the people from Podbean back in here. Alright, we just wanted to make sure that we give them enough time. Thank you. I'm glad you guys can rejoin us. Oh, let me roll my dice. I am tripping. My bad. Hold on. Okay, how to get that out. Let's see if we can get lucky. Damn it. Of course, the property that is that the property I just got rid of? Nah, what did you do? You did something. What the fuck did you do? You went and you traded with somebody else after you traded with me. What the fuck did you trade with? I missed the whole transaction. Alright, folks. Good luck. Yeah, I'm in bed, about to sleep. I have work at 10 a.m. I know, we're going to have to catch up real soon. It's alright, though. I like where this is going. I don't mind this at all. So, I heard earlier today, right? I heard earlier today, about a little comparison, right? Or somebody told me that who they would rather have over somebody else. And I invited them onto the podcast. I was like, you know what? I want to hear you talk your ish. Right? And not that they're talking shit. Right? And not that they're talking nonsense. I don't want to make it seem like I'm insinuating any of those things. But I want to hear their opinion. Right? Because obviously, it's not an opinion that a lot of people would choose. And that's who you would take over Kyrie or Russell Westbrook. Now, before we get into that, because I want to give you guys a little bit more time to think about that, let's go ahead and give you an update on Dwayne Haskins, folks. Dwayne, they have given us an update on Dwayne Haskins, and they have finally come back saying that when they have done it, I guess they did his talk screen, and it has come back that he was legally drunk at the time of his accident. But they have also, I'm going to jail again? Yo, they have not allowed, can I just, seriously? I could have used my get out of jail free card right then and there? These motherfuckers, how do you even use a get out of jail free card? Fuck out of here. fuck do I use my get out of jail free card? Oh, whatever. It's end my turn. Some bullshit. I've gone to jail now 3 times. Monopoly's trying to tell me something right now. Alright. And let's like I'm trying to tell you something. So, what ended up happening now, right, is that, so, for Dwayne Haskins, they came out and they mentioned that, alright, his body, that he was legally drunk, but they have deemed his incident to be completely accidental. Don't know what that means exactly, but then deemed accidental, even though he was drunk, I guess. I don't know. Like I'm curious. I should have bet $1 more. I wouldn't have mind taking that one. Pog Slayer. I like that name. I used to be a Pog Slayer. Kind of am. Depends. Like, yeah, actually, still am. You know, my next one is not a Pog at all. I'm going back to my dark chocolates. Oh, that must be ice. What the hell? Somebody must be going to bed. Okay. So that's the update on Dwayne Haskins. Obviously, always condolences to him. Like, we don't want to hear. It's always sad to hear about these stories, and we're just happy that, I guess, at some point in time they always have to release these things so you can get the information out, because people want to know. You know, it's always the news, but we're not gonna dwell on here. We're not. There's no finger pointers on there. It's just completely informational. Let's get to the real story. Russell Westbrook or Kyrie Irving? Now, this is very odd. And I'm not going to tell you the person's answer, right? What they said. But did I just win this auction? Shit, okay. I'll take that. Let's see if they let me win this other one too. Fuck. But, I shouldn't go into fuck. So, if you had to ask me who I would rather have on my team, if it's Russell Westbrook or Kyrie Irving, I think this may be an easy answer for me. Right? And that is and I think you guys know, if you heard me on this podcast before, then you may know my answer. If you've been following me over the last couple of years, so I'm gonna do it the easiest way I know how to do this. I'm gonna look at this through Knicks colored glasses, right? Like, that's the only way I really can, right? Look at it through the perspective of my team, and if I would want this individual on my team. Unfortunately for Kyrie, I think he loses out every single time on who I would rather have on my team. Kyrie's too inconsistent with his gameplay. He divides the locker room versus galvanizing it. So let's go ahead and really talk that talk, right? It's my last offer. But let's really talk our talk here, and let's really get down to it. And what this is, right, is that from a leadership standpoint, I'd rather have Russell Westbrook, and that's probably the biggest portion of it. That's probably going to matter to me. Is that as a leader, I want Russ over Kyrie. I have seen Russell Westbrook's leadership style, and he has galvanized every team where he was kind of deemed the best person on. So, that alone makes it hard for me to pick Russell Westbrook. That may be probably the, I don't know if I want to say that's enough immediately. Wait, how many people bankrupt? The fuck? Ooh. Okay. Let's see here. You got the rest of all that shit. So, I'm going. I think without even having to think hard about this, I think I may go Russ, right? And okay, now I see how to use it. And I go Russ only because I know that he can actually make teammates better. I know he won't divide my locker room. I know that I can count on him to try to play 82 games. And if he doesn't, it's only because he's injured. Like, these are things that I know I can count on from Russell Westbrook. See what he does. I think I already mentioned this before in the past. Even when Russell Westbrook was on the market, I would have taken Russell Westbrook on my team for these Knicks. Because I know that there's one thing that he would have done. He would have taught these guys how to be a professional. He would buy into Tom Thibodeau's way of coaching, where he's gonna coach up defense, coach up effort, coach up hustle. And you don't have to worry about coaching those things up when it comes to Russell Westbrook. Damn it. He figured it out. And if you would have added that to a young Knicks team that was looking for a point guard, I think that's great. You try to add Kyrie Irving to a young team that's looking for leadership or a young point guard, and you're not getting that. You're getting somebody that is only worried about their scoring. At least with Russell Westbrook, I know that on top of him trying to score, right? On top of him trying to score, and he's gonna also rebound the ball, and he's gonna also get double-digit assists. As long as you're moving in space and making shots, he's gonna find you. We know that about Russ. We know this about him. Kyrie Irving can't say the. Whew. He landed on goal. Whew. Oh no! No! Oh, it done the same thing. Damn it. damn it. I gotta make you spend at least some kind of money, Pepe. So hands down, I'm going with Russell Westbrook over Kyrie Irving every single day of the week, twice on Sundays. Because Russell Westbrook to me is just a more reliable leader. He's not going to be the most reliable he may not be the most reliable player on the court. Right? Consistent, that is, I should say. But he's going to be consistent in his role. And he'll consistently be there to perform his role. So yeah, when it comes to the choice of Kyrie Irving or Russell Westbrook, I'm going to have to easily say I'm down with Russ. And I'm trying to think and I think I may be even still down with Russ now or more of a Kyrie. Like Kyrie Irving, he's just not. I mean, Russ is just not in the right place. That's what that is. Damn it, that sucks. Like, he's just fully not in the right place, and because he's not in the right place, he looks washed up. That's what it is. He looks washed up in LA playing with Russell Westbrook. But isn't that similar thoughts that we thought about CP3 when he played with James Harden? Like, some people just don't belong together. And I don't think that Russell Westbrook belongs with LeBron James. So now this also comes out about because it's a weird rumor that's now constantly going around. Yeah, I got money. There's a rumor that's constantly going around now that is trying to determine he got both of those? Yeah, I do that. 101. I don't got no money to put on that shit though. Whatever. Yes, even today. Oh no, so I remember I got distracted for half a second. My bad. I owe 50. Okay, let's do this. Where you at? This is long overdue. I'm going to get rid of that. So this has started coming up a little because very oddly, it's like a weird rumor is going around, and I don't know how much of a rumor it is, but there's a weird rumor kind of going around that is suggesting that Kyrie Irving be traded for Russell Westbrook. And now, obviously, because people are putting their opinion on who they'll rather have over whom. And one, I'm trying to think. I'm telling you, this is weird. This is very, very weird. I think Kyrie Irving works in LA with LeBron James, while he doesn't work for Kevin Durant in Brooklyn. Because even if you get the kind of coach that Kyrie wants, where he doesn't want to be coached up, you have LeBron James to constantly always keep him checked. Now, the thing is about Russell Westbrook with Kevin Durant. Now, this is where things may get frustrating, right? And that's because we've seen this dynamic before, and we know how this fails. But can this be successful? Now, while the roles are a little bit more defined, and now you know that you would have to now kind of defer to Kevin Durant. Can Russell Westbrook still play his role, now knowing that, okay, the person that I have to kick that ball out to now is Kevin Durant, and I can get this to him. I don't want this either. That's the part of the trade that I wonder about. It's not the LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. I think that can work. I think that works. Because of who the leader is there. It's the Kevin Durant tied in with Russell Westbrook. Can that work? We've seen this before. We know ultimately this has been unsuccessful. Can it work now? Can these guys be reunited now at this stage in their career and do what they couldn't do when they were in their peak or in their prime? If I'm Kevin Durant, would I rather have Russell Westbrook on my team rather than Kyrie Irving? I know I get somebody that's going to be there 82 games. We know Brooklyn's going to automatically love the way he plays. Like, the whole entire borough of Brooklyn will love him immediately. They're going to fall in love with him. You would have to tailor the team. This is funny. I need a bargaining chip. You never know. Yeah, so that's the side of it that I get curious about more than anything else. What can they do now? Because you'll have to still put more shooters on that team. You have Steph Curry. You have Kevin. What do you have after that? And that's the next problem. So, in the LeBron James scenario, I take Kyrie. In the Kevin Durant scenario, I don't want Russ. If you're asking me as a Knick, I think I want Russ. I know I want Russ. How much my house is? House is $150. I get like $270. It ain't worth it right now. So I want you guys to go ahead and if you guys want, start hitting me up, start messaging me. I'll start getting them. Even when you listen to the podcast, I get them afterwards. All your comments. And let me know who you want. Like, do this. Tell me what team you're a fan of. And then let me know which one of these guys you would rather have on your team. Because that would help. That would be a little bit more telling, right? Who would you want on your team based off of... Which one of you guys would you want based off what your team is? I think a lot of times if you just put them side by side, right, and just ask, who would you rather have? I think most people would rather say Kyrie, because Kyrie's the better skilled player. If you just had to ask, if I had to put these two guys one on one, who would I rather have? Kyrie all day long. If I had to add these guys to my team to now help my team be better and progressive, right? And not just on the court, off the court, cohesiveness, professionalism, everything. Who would I want? And maybe Russ. So you guys let me know. You guys start letting me know, and we'll go through this, and we'll talk about this next week. We'll pick this back up again next weekend and go through some of these responses. Let me tell you about another inch. Am I going to jail again? Yo, they sent me to jail 4 fucking times in this game. This is some bullshit. I know what to do next. So let's get to the next topic, right? Let's continue to march forward to the next topic, and we're gonna end the podcast pretty soon. It's getting late. Let's just put it that way. And I'm only gonna get like 2 hours of sleep. Let's roll the dice. I'm not paying that money. Okay. So I saw a list. And it was a list from 2006, right? And the list said, and I don't even say it was a list. It was a caption, right? And it was a television caption, right? I guess the topic that was going on at the time. And I guess it was a list included. And it said, shit. Fuck. Not what I wanted to do. And it said, elite point guards, right? And this is right before, and you can see this is right before the draft of 2016. So this is the 2015-2016 season. And I'll start giving you the names on this list. And I go from bottom to top. Can I get a little bit of music, something? Let me get that silly shit, that Florida man's music. Yeah, that works. So, the first person on the list ended up being Jeff Teague. Jeff Teague, I'm like, okay. I think I kind of remember Jeff Teague being reasonable, serviceable around that time of year. Next individual they brought up was Damian Lillard. No complaints there. Damian Lillard, certified G, bona fide stud. 7 days of the week. Understand. Then they gave us John Wall. Understand we haven't seen John Wall play basketball in 2 years, but there's a reason why John Wall is still one of the highest paid players in the league at his position. So, John Wall on this list as well. No complaints. Next, I see IT, Isaiah Thomas. Okay. This is Isaiah Thomas during that Boston stretch, I'm assuming. He was pretty proper around that time. I think if that was right before he got injured, that he was working his way into a max contract. Okay. Also on that list was one Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, Mr. Triple Double. We know all again certified, no complaints. The next individual was Kyle Lowry. I've never considered Kyle Lowry one of the best point guards in the game, so this is always going to be confusing to me. Then there was CP3. Okay, cool. Right now we have 7 names on this list. And we get to the last name now. Yes, last name. And we get to one Kyrie Irving. No complaints about Kyrie Irving. Again, certified G, bona fide stud. We get it. I don't know how the hell I just did that, but I just did that. Oh, that is lovely. I needed that so bad. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, I need the money. Oh, this is horrible. I just really needed that money. But there's really a space I wanted to get to. That's why it's so fucked up. Don't land on my space. Woohoo! Are you going to jail? Finally! Somebody else goes to jail besides me. Shit. So, have you guys figured out the name that I haven't mentioned? We spoke about this player already today. Some of you may know him as Wardell. Others may know him as Steph. But yes, you notice there's no Stephen Curry on this list. And that really confused the shit out of me. Right? I was like, damn. 2015, 2016. What was Steph doing? Because even I start to wonder, right? I start thinking to myself, was Stephen Curry, was this before he got his contract? Was this like his injured years? And I say to self, no. Not at all. This isn't one of his injured years. Like, I looked it up. Stephen Curry is actually balling this year. Actually, the 2015-2016 season is the year that the Golden State Warriors won 73 games. So that means that's also the year they're coming off of a championship. So I'm like, whoa, let me take a look at this again. He's coming off of a championship. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Oh, I own that one. Haha. I'm over here like, that's gonna hurt. Okay, so let's do this. Alright, let's go to the middle. And let's add a little housey house right there. And let's go not yet. So that's because I hope you guys understand what's happening here, right? He won that's the year he won 73 games. And yet on this list of elite point guards, Jeff Teague is on this list and there's no Stephen Curry. Kyle Lowry's on this list and there's no Stephen Curry. Now I know you may be thinking, well, you know, they had a really good team. You know, like, you know, it was Clay, Andre Iguodala, Harrison Barnes, blah, 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 blah. Right? You may be saying all that. And then I looked and I was like, you know what? Let's see how many points per game he was averaging that year. Maybe amongst his peers, maybe that was one of the years he wasn't really averaging that many points. That year, folks, Stephen Curry was averaging 30.1 points per game. He led the league in scoring. So that was also the year he won his scoring title. And yet, so I know I brought this list up, but now I'm starting to think somebody must have edited this list. There was no way in hell that in 2016, when they were talking about the most elite point guards in the game, that they did not have Stephen Curry on this list whatsoever. Now that's complete disrespect and complete blasphemy, and I don't understand it whatsoever. Listen to this list again. I want you to dissect this list. Jeff T, Damian Lillard, John Wall, Isaiah Thomas. Now I stuck with Isaiah Thomas as well too, because somebody underneath that caption said when they got to Isaiah, when they got to Jeff T, they was like, oh yeah, because they said point guards. Well, Isaiah Thomas is no more of a point guard than Stephen Curry is. Kyrie Irving is no more of a point guard than Stephen Curry. If that's what we're judging it off of. So again, I don't understand how they got to this list and that far up this list, and it's completely washed. I can deal with that. And completely washed Stephen Curry out of this. But folks, you know what? That's officially our time. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. We've officially been recording for just about 3 hours now. I think that's enough time. We've given you some bonus material, right? We'll go ahead and make sure we label this bonus material. The bonus material is going to be a Podbean exclusive. We won't be sharing the second half of the audio anywhere else but Podbean. So you have to download the Podbean app and make sure you hear it there if you want to catch that. Folks, I want to thank you again for listening to the podcast. However you may have listened to the podcast. Thank you for spending your time with me. But if you spent the whole entire time live here with me, damn it. Yep, we definitely gonna be negotiating. Whether you spent the time here live with me, or you caught the re-air, the many places that we catch the re-air, I do appreciate you there. I do appreciate you taking the time to listen to the podcast. As the boy Toby and Wigway says, hope you guys all catch a wave that never subsides. But as I like to say, continue to transfer yourself into the kind of person that you would want to work for you. That's all I can say. This is MyT Sports Podcast. We're out of here. Hey, yo, DJ MyT, you've done a really good job of playing this goddamn Florida man music this whole entire time. Cause that shit was kind of crazy. That list they came out. But do me a favor, all right? And you know I don't like to ask you for a lot, but can you play my outro so I can stop rambling?
Sorry, B.
Thank you.
I tried.
I know you do.
Honest.
I know.
All the bandwidth in the world couldn't keep me contained. No lag, no lag. Gonna share my talents with Podbean Live. Always knew I'd take the pod there. Just a lot later than a lot of listeners thought. Last of the real gabbers. Well, maybe not the last. Munchkin got the good life skills.
Oh shit! What the hell's going on here?
New, improved MyT podcaster. Potty down now.
Damn it!
Last call for drinks. Bars closing. Sun's out. Heard the casino got a buffet breakfast. Don't wanna go far. Wow.
We definitely got some negotiations to do.
Tired.